All right, here we go next. We got to take this bottom part of the shroud and extend it up. Except on the extension up, I don't want to extend any of these arms. I just want to extend this outside circle of plastic and the foot up a little bit more. To do that, I'm going to create a sketch. I'm going to create a sketch on this surface here, the top edge of the whole thing. And now I need to cut a line across here so I cannot extrude these arms. So I'm going to grab a circle tool, click on the center of the drawing, and go out anywhere on this edge of the inside of the circle and click. That just drew a circle around it. That cut the arms away from the outside edge. And now I'm going to extrude, and I'm going to click on this outside surface here. And you can see now I don't have any of the arms or inside selected. And I'm going to pull it up. And I actually want to make this 40 millimeters tall, but including this first part as well. So I'm going to actually hit cancel here, and I need to measure this, how tall it is right now. So I'm going to hit inspect, tip it sideways a little bit, and I want to know how big this line is right here, how thick it is already. I'm going to look at this screen over here and find it. It says, okay, that length of that line is 8 millimeters. So I want 40 altogether, so I need 32 more millimeters of extrusion. So I'm going to hit E for extrusion again, click here, and I want to go 32 millimeters, enter. Awesome. So now I've just extruded up to a height of right there, which is 40 millimeters. Now I need to extrude the top circle here, these outside edge, without the foot up the rest of the way, which is 40 more millimeters. To do that, I'm going to click back on my home tool here, create a sketch on this front edge again, and now I need to draw a circle around this outside edge to cut the foot off. So I'm going to grab my circle tool, click back on the middle, and then click anywhere on this outside edge that's not down here on the kind of leg down here, but on this outside edge anywhere on the top. And now I'm going to do E for extrude. Now instead of extruding down here for the foot, I'm going to zoom in and just extrude this surface right there. And I'm going to extrude it 40 more millimeters, enter. And now all of a sudden, I have something that looks a lot like a motor shroud. Now a few things to notice. Where these arms connect with the outside shroud, it's a tight corner, and it's a small amount of plastic. It's going to make it fairly weak right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to strengthen this by rounding out that inside edge. To do that, we're going to come and grab the fillet tool up in the modify menu, click on the fillet tool, and I'm going to click on all of these inside edges of my arms. Just going to keep panning around until I find them all. Maybe zoom out a little bit. My computer's running really slow right now. There's another inside edge there. Another one there. And then two more here. One on this side. One on this side. My advice to you is take your time and click carefully so you don't make a lot of click mistakes. I'm going to also click, if you end up clicking something wrong like this, that's okay. Just click it again, it will go away. We just want the line in there, not the whole surface. And then I'm going to come here to this inside corner as well. And all of these inside corners, I'm going to grab those as well. There's one on this side still. I'm not going to click on this edge in here because there's really nothing to round over here. It won't work out well. So I'm going to leave that one alone. And I think that, oh, nope, there's a couple more. So what I want to do is also, I want to click on these top edges here as well. So it's going to make like a little horseshoe shape on the outside edges. And then I'm going to type in 2 for 2 millimeters and see what that looks like to me. And notice already, just by doing that, how much stronger, let me zoom in on one so you can see it, how much stronger this connection is going to be. Instead of going straight down to a hard corner, it's going to curve the plastic out and just create more strength here at the corner. Awesome. I think 2 millimeters is good. I'm going to click OK. And right now that looks pretty solid. It looks pretty nice. Professional. Awesome. Next thing we're gonna do is we need to cut the holes and the holders for the nuts and screws to attach the thruster to the actual hovercraft. All right, to do that, we're going to create a sketch on the bottom foot here. So I'm going to come here and create a sketch. Inside this sketch, I'm going to grab a construction line. I need to find the center of this square, so I'm going to drag a construction line from the top corner to the bottom diagonal corner. The middle of this line is also the center of that square. I'm going to turn off my construction line, come over here and grab a rectangle. I'm going to come back over here to the right and grab a center point rectangle and then click on the center here and drag it out. I'm going to drag this, not 25 millimeters, hit tab, 25 millimeters. That is where I'm going to place the holes. All right, with that square set, and that square probably could have been a construction line. That should be a construction line. Let's go back and fix that. I'm going to click on, now that I've drawn it, I've got to do it slowly. So I'm going to click on one line, make it a construction line by clicking on the construction line here. Grab the next one. A shortcut to clicking on this button here is the letter X on your keyboard. So X, click on the line. Whoops, just click on just the line. X, click on the line. X. Now all those are construction lines. They won't mess with our extrusions. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut a hole all the way through the foot for the screws to go through. So I'm going to grab a circle, zoom in. Right here in the corner of this, I'm going to drag out a circle. If your construction line is still on, turn the construction line off. And it needs to be a 5 millimeter circle. Enter. And I'm going to do that at all 4 corners. So circle, 5, enter, 5, enter, and circle. Awesome. Those are the holes I'm going to cut through. So now I'm going to go ahead and do extrude and click on all 4 of these holes. Flip it over, and I want to extrude these all the way up until I'm just through the bottom here. So what I'm going to do is choose distance and choose to object, and then click on this surface right there that we want to cut the holes through to, and then click OK. And now you can see I've got holes popping right through the base and to the bottom. Awesome. So that's where the screws are going to go through. Now we want to do a hexagonal hole in the top so the nuts can sit in there. We don't need to have like wrenches and stuff. So we're going to create a sketch right on top of this surface here where the screws go in. When we do that though, it's going to flip it over and the shroud, the housing, is going to hide the surface from us. We can't work like this, so we need to actually temporarily cut this away. To do that, we're going to go to Inspect menu, and we're going to go down to Section Analysis, and it's going to tip it for us automatically. If it doesn't, you need to tip it. And the face selection, we're going to click on that same face we did before, and it's going to cut us down to that face. We're going to go up just a little bit from there. What this is doing is it's cutting away. You can see if I keep pulling up, you can choose where you want to have the cutaway happen at and how much you want to hide. Well, we want to hide this entire shroud, so I'm going to drag it down to the shroud is hidden, but this center thing is still there, and I'm going to click OK. When I do this, I get this analysis folder. I didn't actually cut the shroud away, I just hid it temporarily. And if I come here to the analysis folder and I hide the section 1 analysis, it shows you that the shroud is still there. If I put it back on, it'll cut it away for me. So it's just something temporary I can see, and you know it's temporary because this pink shows up. That's what tells you that. All right, I'm gonna hit on the top view again. I'm opening my sketch right now. I'm working on this side here. So I'm gonna actually hit P for project, and I'm gonna project the shape of the other side on there as well, and click OK. So now I've got the geometry here on this side and the geometry on this side. I'm going to create a polygon, and I'm going to create a circumscribed polygon's the one I want. I'm going to come over here, click on this center circle, and then drag out. Make sure it says 6 over here. So tab, it says 6. It needs to say 6. And then what I'm going to do is measure the width of the nut so that we know how big to make this hexagon. Okay, so I'm measuring the width of the nut, and you can see that it's, I don't know if you can see that all actually, it is 8.64. Now I don't want to make it that exact same size because when the printer prints, it goos some plastic to the sides, it makes it smaller. So let's round that up to a nice even 9. So it went from 8.6 to 9. And then one thing to notice as well, if we type in 9 here, so I'm going to click up, whoops, I'm going to Control Z, I just placed it without doing it. So I'm going to go do that over again, create polygon, circumscribe polygon, click in the center circle, drag out. If I type in 9 there, that's way too big. What it's doing actually is measuring the radius halfway across. So I need to do 9 and then divided by, whoops, 9 divided by 2. Or if you can do that in your head and just know it's 4.5, that's fine too. And then I'm gonna hit enter. And right now my hexagon is sort of twisted a little bit, a little cockeyed to the left. So what I'm gonna do is hit the parallel tool. And I'm gonna make this left side parallel to this edge. And now it's vertical, nice and vertical. And now I just need to do that 4 more times. So I'm gonna come over here to create polygon, circumscribe polygon, click, make sure it says 4.5, whoa, 4.5, and then enter, parallel tool, click on this edge and the side, and now it's good. 2 more times. Create polygon, circumscribe polygon, center of the circle, 4.5 millimeters, click, parallel this and that side, create polygon, circumscribe polygon, almost there, and 4.5, enter, parallel, choose any side, boom, got them. Now we need to extrude these down. We're going to hit E for extrude, and we need to extrude all of these polygons we just drew, these hexagons, and we're going to extrude them down 5 millimeters. If I type in +5, it extrudes up, so I'm like, okay, no worries. -5 will extrude down, and it automatically turned to cut, and we're going to say okay. So now I've got a little hole for the hexagon's nuts to fall into, and then we can screw them to the hovercraft from below. Awesome. I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to turn off my section 1 analysis in my analysis folder so I can see the rest of the thing. Everything looks good, except I don't like these hard edges here. Again, these hard edges might not be as strong as we'd like them to be. So we're going to fillet these edges too. So I'm going to come over here to fillet. I'm going to grab this edge here and also this bottom edge in this corner here, and the same thing on the other side. So this lower corner and this upper corner. And we're going to fillet those. I'm just going to grab it and drag it to see what it looks like. Whoa, too much. Like there-ish. I like that. You can go a little bit excessive. Like you can go more. I wouldn't go like that. You can go where it's really round or where it's barely rounded. I'm going to try 2. I like 2 millimeters for mine, but feel free to put a little different in there. Click OK, and now we've got a really slick hovercraft mount housing. All right. So I'll go back to home here. I'm going to hit save, so Control S, and click OK. And now we have our completed hovercraft housing. We just need to print it. The next video will focus on how to send it to Prusa Slicer, slice it up, and get it printing. Good job hanging.